Hey friends, this is what sold in March. Be sure to like and subscribe. First, on Facebook, we sold this Talbot's sheer cover for $18 and the St. Tropez sleeveless tunic for $15. Now on to Mercari, we sold this Canditopia and Alice Olivia tee for $15. These Keen Moxie Girl sandals for $15. This native shoe for $15. This Abercrombie & Fitch Y2K velvet blazer for $32. This Free People jumpsuit for $70. These Old Navy leopard pants that were $12. And a Hannah Anderson Snoopy swim top for $18. Also, this cashmere sweater with no brand for $36. Now, on to Etsy. We sold a high vintage tee, thanks Michelle, for $25. These vintage Salvador Ferragamos for $45. This super cool vintage Santa belt for $160. And this Otajiri tulip vase for $7.50. Now on to Depop. We sold this Zara Man swim trunks for $25 and then a bundle for $175. This Fila vest, this vintage Roper vest, and this vintage Barney's leather vest. Then we sold this Anthro W5 embroidered top for $23. This Tommy Bahama silk button-up for $35. This Firm Belief skull tank for $13. And this Grave Digger cap for $20. Oh, also this Christian Atelier blazer for $35. Now on to eBay. We sold these Demonia, I guess it is, Cyber Goth boots for $50. This awesome Christian Dior top for $50. This embroidered Guatemalan jacket for $48. This Eli Tahari top for $45. This other Eli Tahari top for $30. These vintage Christian Stevens dress for $20. These Massimo heels I sold for $10.50. This vintage sweater dress sold for $25. This Eileen Fisher blazer sold for $24.50. This J. Jill midi dress sold for $18.90. This Rag & Bone tank sold for $20. This Silence and Noise tank sold for $18. This Tasha Polizzi jacket sold for $25. This awesome ModCloth tank Wizard of Oz sold for $21.60. The Zallo Tortoise embroidered heels sold for $46. The Tommy Hilfiger belt sold for $18. These faux leather leggings sold for $14.40. And this oversized tie-dye embroidered shirt, I sold 3 of them. They're my brand, the High Vintage brand tees. 3 of them sold for $29.95 each. This J. Crew Liberty dress sold for $35. This Givenchy blouse sold for $35. These We the Free crochet tops sold for $15. The Storybook knits cardigan vintage sold for $36. This Urban Outfitters tank sold for $13. This Ralph Lauren baby suit sold for $15. This Susan Minette witch mug sold for $25. This Olivia Miller cat crossbody sold for $14. And the Melissa Jelly sandals sold for $20. So now on to Poshmark. This Michael Stars for Anthropology shirt sold for $17. Vintage embroidered Sultan Clafton sold for $22. This Rhinestone Cowgirl belt sold for $15. These pins sold for $41. The Boston Proper travel blazer sold for $32. The vintage Alaskan Inuit doll sold for $12. The Bowden dress sold for $15. This super cool vintage Afghan sold for $25. The Western styled jeweled belt and buckle sold for $17. The Levi's cutoff embroidered palm tree shorts sold for $20. The Fry sneakers sold for $14. And the Rue 107 velvet dress sold for $17. The Moschino underbear full zip jacket sold for $100. The Vince open knit sweater top sold for $20. The Paul Mayer slide sold for $40. And this Jack Spade long sleeve sold right away for $14. The Star Wars romper dress sold right away for $28. The Billabong Baja Beach hoodie sold for $12. The Uniqlo Keith Haring Kids Puffer sold for $18. The Jeffrey Campbell Rose Base Studded Slide sold for $31. The Magic Silk Cami with the $100 bills sold for $15. The Venezia Embellished Jeans sold for $15. The Keen's Sea Camp Sandals sold for $16. The Peruvian Cotton Crochet Set sold for $12. The Striped Skater Shirt sold also for $12. The Ted Baker V-neck sold for $17. I don't even gonna try it. The leather belt sold for $15. Rebecca Minkoff strappy heels sold for $18. The Webster Miami Target dress sold for $10. The Rag & Bone Athlea V-neck sold for $20. And the U.S. Military Navy uniform pants sold for $24. The Vintage Millie dress sold for $30. J. Crew Color Block linen long sleeve sold for $25. The Cloth & Stone denim romper sold for $25. The J. Jill linen maxi dress, awesome dress, $40. These awesome Bibbit wooden platforms sold for $20. Vintage Minky tank sold for $18. And finally, the vintage punk leather jacket sold for $120. So for the month of March, we put in about $1,400 in the piggy bank. If you like this, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the notification for